Guys, I hope everybody can hear me, so please thumbs up if you do. That's great. We had some technical issues to start, but now we're here. So thank you all for joining. Today we're going to talk about WhatsApp as the new performance channel. But I will introduce myself first. But before we start, I want to thank 360 Dialogue to be our co-host today. I think we're doing some amazing stuff together, and I hope you guys like it as well. My name is Nick. I'm the owner of Conversation24. We are a conversational commerce platform. And on this particular moment, WhatsApp is one of our most important features. A little bit about our company. Let's see if I can show you. We're a 50 people company based in the Netherlands. We're currently active in 13 countries. Our customer service support is 5 languages, and we mainly focus on global brands. I always say we're more than just a development company, because I think if you want to use conversational channels really, really well, you need to have a strategy. So besides software, we also help companies explore strategies, and that can be sales, retention, performance, but I'll show you some examples in just a few. Some of our customers you probably will know, Under Armour, where we do their complete European customer service, Randstad, and I'm going to show you more about Sonova. For the people who don't know Sonova, Sonova is the second largest hearing aid company in the world. And I think with WhatsApp, we accomplished some quite astonishing results for them. A little bit about the era which we are in. I think everybody knew that we started once with face-to-face, went to mail and phone, websites, apps, and this is the area of business messaging. It's growing tremendously. And currently, if you look at the Meta platforms, you see that 3 billion people use this every day. 1 billion people use it on a weekly basis. And I think currently on a daily basis, more than 300 million people use business messaging, which is quite a lot. And then if you think that's quite big numbers, I always ask around and I say, but how many companies did actually message you this month? And then all my friends go silent and go like, no, that's not a lot. So even though it's growing really fast, it still has some traction to gain. But I think that will be in the very near future. It's reinventing the customer journey. You can use it in a discovery phase or a consideration phase. The purchase phase will be very, very important, and that's also why the tracking is very important, but 360 Dialogue can tell you much more about it than me. And of course, care. I think most consumers who ever used WhatsApp has used it in a care situation, asking questions about where's my product, or I have a problem, or whatever. But I think for companies in general, the strongest point about WhatsApp is the open rate, because the open rates are just insane. So if you look at your current email inbox, you're getting completely obliterated with all types of messages. You don't see the difference. For me, for example, I love Black Friday. Why? Because it clears my email list. Because I can do unsubscribe, because you're getting hammered. In WhatsApp, it's different because you see the message. And of course, that will change in the future when everybody starts using it. But now you will be one of the only ones who's using it as a push channel. The next one, I first want to tell a short story. So Sonova is a $4-point-something billion company active in 110 countries. And they are the second largest hearing aid company in the world. And I was talking to their customer journey director for the Netherlands, and I asked him, what do you want to achieve? And the guy told me, he said, well, what I want to achieve is I want to have people doing a hearing test in store, because 90% who fails the test becomes a customer on the spot because they think I need help, right? So I asked him about his customer journey. And he said to me, well, let's say we do 1,000 leads a week. They go into a CRM, they go into a dialer, and a call center calls them 3 to 5 times to book an appointment. And I looked at the guy and I said, I'm really sorry, but that's weird. And he looked at me and he said, what did you say? I said, well, those people are deaf. Why are you calling them? And he went like, okay, fair, you've got a point. So what did we do? We redirected all their advertisements to WhatsApp. And honestly, the results are insane. That means that somebody fills in a form online, tries to book a meeting, and in the same minute, they receive a message with, hi, Gino, I want to book you an appointment. 98% opens the WhatsApp message, and we have a 91% response rate. Most of the people actually respond within the first 2 minutes. And they are very, very surprised that, whoa, this is quick, the way you are reacting. If we look at the call center perspective, because they used to use a call center, that only had like a 30, 31, 35% conversion rate. And that's all has to do with speed. Just when somebody's hot, you need to react, you need to be there. In the case of Sonova, we've done multiple things. We've done it with a bot, where a person can use a bot to book an appointment. But what we've seen is that when there's a manual agent, because their agenda system is not the best in the world, if we use a manual agent who responds manually, the conversion rate is the highest. So thinking about this particular subject, we started talking about, okay, but what's the rest of your customer journey? And one of the things which is very, very important is that within 4 years, somebody needs to get a new one. So the retention part. So now we're using, instead of email and calling, we're using WhatsApp to bring them back into the store. And also we're doing reactivations. And with the reactivation, I mean people which are currently not capable of booking because the agenda is full or there's just not a space. When availability comes up, we send them a message with, hi, we have a new availability, would you come? Results off the charge. This is mostly automated, but sometimes we can also do manual stuff. So it's very, very much important that if you look at the customer journeys, to see which is needed, because a bot is great, and of course you can do very, very high volumes, but sometimes in specific cases, a human or a handover to a human is the ideal situation. The third thing we're doing is with hearing aids, within 6 months, you need to do, and that's because of Dutch law, you need to ask them a couple of questions. So you need to get a CAT score or collect a review or whatever. Also, again, they were doing this by email. Currently, we're doing this with WhatsApp. We have a 71% response rate. So that's very, very, very high. I see there is a question that, can WhatsApp be used as a lead funnel? Yeah, definitely. So what we're doing is we are rerouting the ads directly into WhatsApp. So people can just click on the ad, they come into WhatsApp, and that's where they get their response. So Meta things, and this I heard somewhere, I haven't seen it in facts on paper, but this is what I heard in one of the meetings we had with Meta, is that they think that 30% of all ad spend within 3 years will end up in a conversational channel because the performance is much better. It's a more direct way of being in direct contact with your customer. And these were more or less the examples I just wanted to give you. Very simple ones, I think this was a no-brainer to do this way. Currently with Sonova, we're active in multiple countries, and we have like 11 touch points in their customer journey with WhatsApp. So you see, it's for performance, but it's also for retention, it's for aftercare. The newest one we're doing right now, in short, is when somebody buys a hearing aid, they you see them coming back to the store quite a lot because they've got questions. How do I clean my hearing aid? How do I change the batteries? Stuff like that. So within the first 4 weeks, what we do is we send them 4 videos. So also that is something education-wise which really works. But in my opinion, the biggest opportunity is by far using it as a performance channel. Don't get your traffic on a landing page, get them in your channel where you can actually talk with them. And I think that is my message to you. We have multiple other cases. And of course, if anyone has questions, I can share afterwards or just get in contact with me. And then Gino, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Nick. I think it's been the very thing that you do with Sonoa. I think it not only promotes the use case that we're about to discuss, but also helps the users greatly. So let me take your screen for just a bit. And what I want to do today, can you just please confirm whether the screen is visible?
Yes.
Excellent. So first of all, I want to thank Nick for letting us join on this webinar, and I want to thank everybody who took the time of their day to listen to Nick and myself. So what I want to do is share a little bit deeper perspective of the measurement and let's say insightful scale and growth over WhatsApp, right? Because most people understand intuitively that of course, people are going to open the messages on WhatsApp, right? Just because you're texting with your friends on WhatsApp, you have group, family, probably friend group chats on WhatsApp. Everything that you do, private life, most of us, at least, is being managed and organized through WhatsApp. So it only makes sense that a message would be opened at a higher rate than an email. But the reality, when it comes down to performance marketing, that the WhatsApp messaging data is unstructured. And it's also disconnected from all the other digital signals. And what I mean by that is everybody, any brand that's doing any sort of digital marketing, they know and have pixels, Google Analytics, ad flyers, adjust all the right tools and all the right ways of measuring what happens when somebody comes to my website or a mobile app. I can track their performance. I can track their usage. I can see what they're doing. I can measure effectively whether a conversion has happened or not. And in WhatsApp, so far, it's not been the case, right? So why should somebody invest in a channel where measuring the exact results is not as easy, right? And that's what we're here to talk about, and that's what we are solving for, because at the end of the day, you want to have the same fundamental metrics: open rate, click-through rates, conversion, cost per lead, cost per event, cost per mile, ROS, all of these metrics you want to have on WhatsApp funnels as well. So how do we do it? And now it's really actually exciting times that we can share that this is possible right now. We can provide data. Conversation24 together with 360 can provide you the data that you need, that you can trust, and that you can take, most important, that you can take the insights and actionable insights that you can follow up on to drive growth, to improve the conversion, to improve the number of leads. Somebody mentioned the lead funnel. To improve the number of qualified lead, to reduce the cost per lead, to reduce the cost per conversion of per purchase, etc. Right? So how do we do it? And that's something that we've built and that is all available through our partners, like the Conversation24, is the 360 log WhatsApp analytics. So how does it actually work? And I'm going to run you through an example because I don't like theory slides, same as Nick. So let's immediately jump into an example of a company that's selling ticket festival tickets through WhatsApp, right? So in this specific example, what they're doing is you have to have a way of advertising your WhatsApp channel. It's not unlike any other channel. Same as your website, you need to get the message out there. You need to drive people on your website. You need to do the same thing with your WhatsApp channel, right? So how does this company do it? They have two versions of an offline entry point. In this case, it's a different QR code with on a billboard, for example. They've rented out a physical billboard somewhere on the park, and they've written down some sort of visual saying, hey, scan this QR code to get your tickets for the festival. But what they also do is they run different campaigns natively, ads that click to WhatsApp, right? Native Meta, Facebook or Instagram ad that instead of opening up a third-party link, it opens up a conversation on WhatsApp, right? So what is the first question that I want to address? It's which of these sources performs better, right? Where do users come from? And once the users would send this pre-populated message, either by accessing it to the Facebook ad or to a billboard, immediately the system, the dashboard that you would have access to, would provide you with the breakdown of all the what we called conversations, right? So in terms of conversations, it's basically a source attribution. So right now, what the users can see is, okay, I have one ad with a little meta poster with music bands, right? And another one with people dancing. So the company is testing out two different A/B scenarios, two different creatives. But I also have a landing page link and a QR code on a billboard, right? So let's assume the following. I'm interested in understanding which of my campaigns that I'm paying money to, right? I'm investing into these ads that run on Facebook. I'm interested in which one performs better. So I can select one or multiple entry source, and I can immediately compare the metrics, right? Because the system will be connected to the ads manager in case you're running the ad to the click to WhatsApp. The data, financial data, is automatically visible there. So you can see the number of conversations started, the amount of USD or any other currency for that matter that's been invested, right? And based on the number of leads or conversations started, people who actually started a chat with you, it's automatically calculated like a cost per lead, right? So even with this very, very simple first step, you can immediately see which creative or which visual, which ad set performs better, where you should invest the money in. And in this case, it's the poster with the music band, right? Because it's a cheaper cost per lead. But what's then? Understanding the source is only one thing, but what you want to understand is the behavior and the outcome. So in this simple case, this ticket company is offering two different options. So either you buy a simple pass for 150 quid, or you buy a more expensive VIP ticket for 250, right? And let's assume the user selected to buy the VIP ticket, which is obviously something that you as a company want to find ways to market to a segment that is going to purchase the more expensive or more premium product, right? A higher margin. The user then gets presented with the link to buy on an external base. And that's where usually things disappear, right? Because you have entry points which are not in WhatsApp, it's on a different source. You have the funnel, which is within WhatsApp, the conversation that happens within WhatsApp, and then you have the final conversion element that's happening on a third-party website. So let's say you get drawn to this ticketcompany.com website, you complete the purchase, you add your credit card, right? Like you would create any type of e-commerce experience. And then you redirect it back in WhatsApp. The user receives their QR code, user receives their digital ticket like you would have if you were purchased it on any other website, right? So what now? How do you actually know what performed? How many people have bought? How do you retarget them? How do you understand where users drop off? And this is what the event section of the dashboard provides. Is based on the entry points that you selected earlier, in this case, the two different ad campaigns, we can select one or all the events. And an event can be any button click, a keyword that can be configured. It can be a link clicked. It can be a conversion that happens outside, right? So, or even an outgoing message, like a template message. In this case, it's as simple as two options on the button click. So now we select the VIP pass, and let's explore which of these ad campaigns is providing with a higher return on ad spend and where I should invest money to continue attracting these users. Right? And since the data is connected to the ads manager, the financial data is already there, for offline events, you can add your own investment. But very simply, I can see that the higher return on ad spend is with the videos of people dancing. That means that I'm investing less per lead, and it's a probably good idea to explore and revisit why people are reacting that way, and probably pause the investment into the other ad campaign and start pushing more into this one. So that's I don't want to bore you with too many details, but I hope you understand the picture what the platform currently does. But what's also coming up and what's being rolled up by the day is the ability to capture everything, meaning a purchasing event, external event within the messaging thread, right? So some users will use WhatsApp, some brands will use WhatsApp only for a part of the journey, let's say a lead journey, and then they're redirect and they're called follow up with a call afterwards. Some will have a full funnel within WhatsApp and actually confirm the purchase, confirm the appointment within the WhatsApp, right? But some, like in this case and many others, will redirect the users to a third-party website, whether it's a shop, whether it's a checkout engine or whatever. So we can also check that. We can help visualize these funnels by giving you like a visual aid and a chart graph that shows the relevant steps. And you can measure a drop-off, like a bounce rate, and you can then contact the Conversation 24 to help you improve your messaging funnel, right? Because designing a messaging funnel is more than just putting in a few words, right? And you need experts for it. And then the third part is the most interesting for me and for everybody who's been dealing with the click to WhatsApp ads, is the ability that it's connected to different meta engines and different meta marketing APIs that can serve to segment users who completed the purchase or completed the event that you wanted them. You can feed this information, if you choose to, back to the meta engine, which will then optimize the further campaigns to attract more users who will be more likely to complete the purchase or to complete the conversion based on the previous sets, right? So many interesting things come, and this is just to show you that tracking now is possible, and with partners like Conversation 24 who can help you bridge that gap and provide you not only with the tools to make it happen, but also with the knowledge and support. I'd say it's definitely a very interesting time to start, if not jumping on, exploring and testing out how WhatsApp can, in my opinion, provide the highest return on spend and highest conversions than any other digital channel that's currently out there. And with that being said, thanks for listening, and over back to you, Nick.
Yes, sorry, I was looking for the unmute button. Gino, thank you for this. Are there any questions you guys wanna know? I see two already. One from Megan: with the booking system, does this link to Google Calendar? Well, currently WhatsApp is rolling out WhatsApp Flows, which looks like a booking system, but it's more like a form, which means that it's not connected to anything. So then you would need to do an API call towards any calendar system which is out there. So it's not a real booking system. What you could do, which is less sexy, is of course send the Google Calendar link. But in my opinion, what we've seen in the data is that if I ask you questions, you keep answering. So if I ask you, are you available on Thursday? No. Oh, are you available on Wednesday? No. Oh, are you available on Friday? You keep answering till we get a solution. If I send you a Google Calendar link or whatever link, the chance that you will immediately book an appointment goes down, let's say 30%. Because you think, oh, I can do that later. You forget about it. It's not on your priority anymore. So it makes it more difficult. So if you want to have a real calendar function, you need to do something with the APIs. I see another one. Which tools can I use to develop a bot for WhatsApp? Well, there are multiple tools out there. We've built our own bot, also using ChatGPT, but there are loads of them. It mainly depends on what you're looking for, how sophisticated does it need to be, and how difficult solution you wanna present. Another one, do you have a partner in Turkey? We're working with a fintech company and mentors for, is there any opportunities to work together? There's always opportunities to work together. I think the most part of of Gino and my work is finding partners to collaborate. So we're always open. Is this something integrated in Salesforce and company website? If you're asking if there's a WhatsApp connector into Salesforce, yes, there is, but there's a but. And that means that Salesforce is not the best program to use for bulk messaging, so no automation, stuff like that. So actually, you saw one of our other customers, Randstad. We are currently building a complete integration into Salesforce Marketing Cloud, where we actually do the full automating part for them. So that's an option. Gino, do you want to answer one or two of the questions?
Sure. I think I'll skip the ones that are related to the specific product, because I think it's only fair that you speak about the Conversation 24 abilities. But let me answer, how do you actually get in contact with people on WhatsApp? Are there groups that you can send messages to? So that's a very interesting point. As I was mentioning in the case, WhatsApp, unlike similar to all the digital channels, you need to find ways to attract new users. So how you do it is you either have an existing customer base that they are opted in for receiving communication with you over email, for example. Then you can send them an email announcing there's a new service on WhatsApp. There's clients usually put a WhatsApp web widget on their website, on their contact form. On if they're selling a physical product, perhaps they'll add a QR code on the packaging. So there are multiple ways, to be creative and in getting people on WhatsApp. The important thing is that you find where your audience currently sits and then try to announce the use of your WhatsApp channel. And then once you have the opt-in, you can reach out to them directly via WhatsApp, via templated messages that don't exist in the peer-to-peer world, but it can be an automated broadcast or specifically triggered message to start a conversation.
Yeah, in my opinion, the first thing everybody should do is change their opt-in policy. I mean, with every single order, you should ask them to also be contacted through WhatsApp. That's one. Second one is if somebody does through WhatsApp or through email a request, a service request, ask them if you can have an opt-in for WhatsApp. So it's actually fairly easy to get opt-ins for WhatsApp. There is one very important thing though, and that is don't spam. And that's why Gino also said, and that's also, you need a strategy for this. This is not a channel where you can just do 10,000 bulk messages and people get annoyed and it's very easy to block someone. And if you get blocked as a company, you have a problem. It's more aggressive than for example, email. But sometimes I'll give you another example. There's a really large bakery chain in the Netherlands, and they are the second largest supplier through Just Eat Takeaway. I didn't know that, but those are the business lunches. And of course, business lunches are most of the time more expensive than normal dinner because we're talking about multiple sandwiches, multiple drinks, etc. So the director asked me a question. Can I use WhatsApp as a newsletter? And I said, yes, you can. I said, but if you are going to send me every single month or every single week the new sandwiches, I'm going to be fed up with you within 6 weeks. So we looked at his customer journey and we thought, okay, but who's actually the person who buys all the business lunches. And in general, that's the office manager or the secretary. And in the Netherlands, you have this one day, which is the National Secretary Day. On that day, we use WhatsApp, sending out a message and saying, thank you for being a customer with a 99% open rate. So that's how you need to think about using your channels the right way on your customer. Don't do it as bulk email. Yes, you can with the right opt-in when somebody has agreed on it. But collecting WhatsApp numbers or opt-ins, it's fairly easy. I see some more question. Do you have case studies using it for SaaS B2B or is it only B2C? No, it's definitely B2B. For example, a leasing company leasing out cars to other companies. Very good use case collecting leads. And so there are multiple, but I think it's easier to do a deep dive on another stage to do the B2B part. There are quite some questions coming in, so I'm trying to speed this up a bit. Have you used WhatsApp as a way to send alerts like press releases? What is the best way to do that? So to set up community of stakeholders. Well, again, this all has to do with your opt-ins, right? So you don't want to spam people. So if you want to send press releases, and then I'm thinking you're sending it to a consumer or through your press list, but those are people who signed up. Yeah, then it's just like a newsletter. So then it works exactly the same as you would do with email, only you do it through a WhatsApp message. Next one. Can I create scenarios as automated messages to my customer list to send? Yeah, of course, you can just build a bot. So that's not really a problem. What's next for WhatsApp? What does the future look like, especially with there are many innovations coming out. Many times people take marketing on WhatsApp, intruding their privacy, especially with broadcasting. What can aid it to be smooth? Well, I think, Gino, you can answer this one.
Yeah, I think there's one more which kind of touches on the same topic, and that's how do you make sure you're not spamming? How do you make sure that you're being aligned with the expectations of privacy for the users and not killing the channel? So I'm gonna answer it, and sorry in advance for a little bit longer answer, but two ways. First is what Meta does in terms of how the product is structured and how it prevents spam, right? So every time you receive a message from WhatsApp from anyone who's not in your contact list, the first thing WhatsApp asks you is, do you know this person? Do you want to add it to the context, or do you want to block it or ignore it? So let's say you're spamming users. Users are not expecting your message. They have not opted in. They will be blocking you. Meta has algorithms in place to immediately in real life start seeing the alarming rate of higher blockages, and they're going to reduce the outgoing messages capacity until you clear it up. So Meta has systems in place that doesn't allow you to just over spam and start abusing people. And the second thing is what Nick has been talking about is it's not SMS, it's not email that you just buy a database online of 2 million people and then just blast and hope for 1 to 2% conversion rate, which you're happy because you've blasted on a million. WhatsApp is a game of super high conversions. We've heard like cases of 99 and 98% open rates. Conversion rates can be 20, 30x what you would see on SMS or email. But in order to do so, you need to know who you're speaking to. You need to be sending relevant information. So I would say the first thing is to knowing what your users expect, and then making sure that they also know you're going to reach out for them with a specific offer. So in an example, if you are promoting, I don't know, there's a sale on your website, you can use WhatsApp to announce the sale, and then you can ask, hey, would you like to hear more from us? Yes or no. If they say no, you don't spam them again. If they say yes, then you follow up, and then you ask them, okay, what would you like to hear more about, right? So it's a great way of learning about your users, about your consumers, about their habits, about their demographics, and then you can tailor the communication based on that. So WhatsApp is really powerful for personalized communication, and that's basically how you avoid being over-intrusive by asking the consumers to share their opt-in with you in order for you to reach out.
Thank you, Gino. I'll take the last one. And the question is, considering the evolving role of WhatsApp, how do you believe its transformation aligns with individuals' expectations of privacy norms? How do you recommend navigating communication strategies to avoid user privacy protections? Well, I think Gino already answered quite a big part of this question. But in my opinion, the way where WhatsApp is going, it's just inevitable. And it's also not new. Because in China, there are like 1 billion people using WeChat more or less the exact same way where WhatsApp is moving. So it's more a matter of time, people getting adapted. We have in the Netherlands, we have this very, very funny clip somewhere from the 1980s. There's this reporter in the main shopping street of Amsterdam asking people questions like, would you use a cell phone? And everybody responded with, a cell phone? Why? I've got an answering machine at home. Well, I think that's where we're currently at. People do understand WhatsApp because they use it on a friendly basis, but they will use it on a business basis, I think on a daily business basis. So that's my last comment. Gino, if you want to add something, the floor is yours.
No, I think this wraps it up really nicely. I just like to invite people to reach out to you and explore the possibilities. I always say to everybody, WhatsApp, in terms of performance marketing channel, is what digital was 2012, 2013. Everybody's kind of betting whether it's going to work or not. And the only thing that's going to be different if you start now or in 2 years is the 2 years that you're going to be catching up with your competitors who are already jumping on it. And I like to maybe close with that. So thanks everybody who joined in, and Nick, thanks again for inviting us to this webinar.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.